Hello everyone, today we will know about the surface water. So surface water, as a name suggests, surface and water, that means water present in the surface or present in the land, that is called as the surface water. So first come to how many types of the water are present. So normally there are the three types of the water are present. The one is first called as the ocean, or it is called as the sea water. The second one is called as the fresh water, and third one is called as the groundwater. So what do you mean by ocean water? That means simply the water which is present in the sea is called as the ocean or the sea water. And second one is the fresh water. Fresh water means normally the ocean comprises, out of 100, it comprises 96.5% of all total water. The sea water comprises the 96.5%, and in the fresh water it is 3%, only 3%, and out of the 2.5% are locked in the glacier. That means in the Antarctic region or in the Greenland, the 2.5% of the fresh water they converted into already into the snow. So that means only 0.5% are present in the surface of the water, that means the land water. Why it is called the land water? Because it is present on the land, and that's why the surface water, it is also called as the terrestrial water. So third one is called as the groundwater. Groundwater means the water present beneath the ground, that means below the ground. Look at this structure. This is called the ground. That means this is the land. Below the land, the water is present. That is called the groundwater. This is called the surface water. Surface means it is present on the land. This one is the land. It is present on the land. That is called the surface water. And the ocean, of course, you know that the water which is present in the sea, that is called as the ocean or the sea water. Now come to how surface water is formed. The formation of surface water. How the surface water is formed? The surface water is formed mainly by the precipitation. So what is the precipitation? The precipitation means say it is the sun. So due to the warm climate, the water of the surface, they form the water vapor, and this water vapor again they condenses and come in the form of the rain or the rainfall. So this is called the precipitation. The precipitation means the condensation of the atmospheric water vapor. So because of this precipitation, the surface water mainly it is formed. This is the first. The second is due to the warm climatic condition, the snow which is present in the Antarctic region or in the Greenland, they melts, and after melting the water, they run up to the surface water. So this is the second method or the second reason for the formation of the surface water. The first one is the precipitation, second one is the melting of the snow and the ice in the Antarctic region or in the Greenland regions. Next come to what is the use of the surface water. What is the use of the surface water? So one of the reason or one of the use, the main use is the, of course, for the drinking water. So that means by the report of USGS. What is the USGS? That means United States Geological Survey. So it is an institution, and according to this report, if the water contains below 1000 milligram per liter, then only it is called as the fresh water. Or this 1000 milligram per liter, or it is called as the 1 ppm, or the parts per million. So that means the water which contains below 1000 milligram per liter solute, or the solid, then it is called the fresh water, and this fresh water can be used for the drinking water, for the animals, for the human beings. The second one is the second use is the irrigation. Of course, it helps in the irrigation in the field. The third one is the wastewater treatment. Wastewater treatment. And the fourth one is industrial use. Industrial use. The fifth one is wastewater treatment. Wastewater treatment. So what is the wastewater treatment? This is only simply the process which removes and eliminates the contaminants from the wastewater. That means in the wastewater it removes the contaminant, and now it is the full or it is free of pollutants. So that is called as the wastewater treatment. The next one is the livestock. It can be used in the livestock. That means the animals are used for the consumption of the meat or the milk, or the meat or the egg. So that is called as the livestock which are used for the due to the surface water. And next one is the industrial use, or in the industrial use normally it is the hydropower. Hydropower, by which the electricity, mainly the electricity is generated. So this is the main use of the surface water. So next come to how many types of the surface water, or the classification of the surface water. This is the surface water. So there are normally three types of the surface water are present. The first one is called as the permanent surface water. Permanent surface water. The second one is called as the semi-permanent surface water. The third one is called as the human-made, or it is also called as the anthropogenic surface water. The permanent, another is the semi-permanent, third one is the human-made or the anthropogenic. The permanent, it is also called as the perennial surface water. Perennial surface water. And the other name suggests, what is the permanent surface water? That means in that area, in the whole year the water is present. That is called as the permanent surface water. For example, lake, river, wetland. Wetland means normally the land which is wet, or normally low water is present, but throughout the year the water is present. For example, it can be the marsh, it can be the swamp. So they are the permanent type of the surface water. The second one is the semi-permanent. The semi-permanent, or it is called as the ephemeral surface water. So what is the semi-permanent surface water? That means in that area the water is present in certain times of the year. That means it is the seasonal. It is the seasonal. Here present only certain types of the years. For example, you can say creek. What is creek? It is a simply a small stream. Small stream. So actually the stream can be large or the small. The large stream, it is called as a river. If it is a small stream, it is called as a creek. C-R-E-E-K. Creek. Another is the lagoon. Another example is, for example, the water holes. Water holes. So they are different types of the semi-permanent surface water. And the third one is the human made of the anthropogenic. Of course, as name suggests, that means this surface water which is formed or which is assembled by the human beings. For example, a dam and a canal. Another is the artificial pond. So these are different types of the surface water which is present in the earth. So now come to the measurement of the surface water. Measurement, or how the surface water is measured. The measurement of the surface water is done by stream gauge. Stream gauge. So what is the stream gauge? This is the structure of the stream gauge. Here. So here they quantify the level of the water, and the level of the water is determined as how the stream gauge measured the surface water volume. So it measures the amount of rain, or simply the rainfall, plus snow melt. That means it is the production of the surface water. That means either runoff or melting of the snow. So this one minus uptake of nature. Uptake of nature means merely the drinking or use of the surface water. That is called the uptake of the nature. Let's say the drinking by the animals, or in some area human beings also. The second one is the evaporation. That means in the sun the water evaporates. So this is the evaporation concentration. And the third one is the transpiration. So what is the transpiration? The transpiration means in the plant the water also evaporates from the plant. So this is called as the transpiration. So this is the three method or the three uses of the surface water. So that means the stream gauge, it measures by compiling the concentration of total amount of rainfall plus net amount of snow water, and minus the concentration of the uptake of the nature, and concentration of the evaporation, and the concentration of the transpiration of the water. And after that the net volume is measured, and that is called as the surface water of that area, and that is measured by stream gauge. This is the stream gauge structure. That means here in that region the water is quantified, or the how or what is the concentration of the surface water left after the uptake of the nature and the evaporation and the transpiration. Okay, so this is the measurement of the surface water. And next come to what is the impact of climate change in the surface area, because now impact of climate, that means now the climate is very drastically changes. So because of that there is obviously negative impact on the climate, on the surface water. So what is the impact? That means in the climate change, so that the temperature obviously increases, and because of the increment of the temperature, the sea ice as well as the glacier, they melt more. So because of that, the sea level of course increases. So because of the increment of the sea level water, so they infiltrate to the fresh water. That means if the sea level or the amount of the water in the sea increases, they infiltrate to the fresh water, like they infiltrate to the river, to lake. So because of the infiltrate of the fresh water, so that means it will negatively affect on the flora and the fauna. So what is the flora, what is the fauna? So flora means the plant, normally the plants, and the fauna means the animals. So that means it impacts negatively on the plants and the animals. How? Because if the sea water infiltrate to the fresh water, that means in the fresh water, that means the 1 ppm of the solid is present. That means the solid or any solute or any nutrients, any elements, they are present 1000 milligram per liter. That means 1000 milligram of the solute is present in the liter, that is called as the 1 ppm, which is called as the fresh water. But when the sea water infiltrate to the fresh water, so now it increases, let us say 1500 milligram per liter. So that means more than 1 ppm of the solute will be in the fresh water. So that means it will directly affect on the plants as well as the animal which is present in that fresh waters. And according to NOAA, what is NOAA? This is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. So that means this is present in the US. So according to the report, by the NOAA, in 2012 to 2016, that means within these 4 years, within this only 4 years, 247 billion tons of glacier per year is melting because of the impact of the climate change. So it is very huge. That means per year 247 billion tons per year the glacier melts. That means it is already a warning sign for an animal, human being, that's why. So this is the main impact of the climate on the surface water. So another is the second one is the climate change has direct connection with the water cycle. That means now the water cycle is altered. What is the water cycle? Water cycle simply when the water is evaporates, and it forms the water vapors, and again the condensation, it precipitates. This is the water cycle. So now due to the impact of the climate, that means the temperature will be increased. So because of the temperature increment, so because of this, the evaporation increases, but the precipitation decreases. So that means the evaporation increases, that means more water is gone from the surface water, but a low precipitation, that means low water is coming to the surface water. That means now the surface water is going to be shrinking because of the climate change. And third one is the climate change can affect the quality of the surface water. The quality means, of course, the pollution or the pollutant. If the temperature or if the climate will changes, that means the pollutant will be increased. So because of this increase of the pollutant in the air or in the water, so they come into the surface water. That means now the surface water is polluted. So this is the third impact of the surface water, and most importantly another is the fourth. So what is the fourth? And that is called as the groundwater. So groundwater means now we are pumping heavily. We are pumping heavily to the groundwater. So that means due to the heavy pumping, the groundwater now becomes very low. So because of the very low groundwater, so now let us say after pumping, the groundwater becomes very low. So when the groundwater level becomes low, that means now the surface water, they come into the groundwater, because from the high pressure to the low pressure. So that means water also run up to the ground. That means again the surface water will be lessened. So this is the fourth impact on of the climate. Due to the climate, the surface water will be decreased. So this is the mainly about the surface water. And if you like the video, then please like and subscribe my video. Thank you.